Welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about the belief that keeps good men stuck at just enough. And this will be especially relevant for you if you're a man who's built a good life on paper and you feel like you're unconsciously putting a ceiling to your potential and specifically to your income. So in this video, we're going to cover first the guilt trap that keeps high earners stuck at just enough. Second, why I don't need more probably isn't your voice and you weren't born with it, right? How wanting more money can be about impact, not just ego. The real cost of staying modest, and it's actually a lot more than nothing, and a 7-day audit to reveal beliefs that are running your money decisions. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is one of my one-on-one clients told me on a call recently, I'm earning more than ever and I feel ridiculous talking about wanting more. So, to give you a clear picture, here is what his life looks like right now. He's making the most money he's ever made in life, doing work that's relatively easy and low stress for him. He's getting compliments on his energy after doing lots of TWIM, which is our core meditation inside DDA, and he's volunteering at his local rugby club to make an impact on the coming generations in his free time, right? So if you were to have a 5-minute conversation with this guy, you could just tell in his heart he has good intentions for wanting more, and it's not selfish, it's actually very selfless. But when he thought about earning more so he could invest in house renovations, he could get a new car, or he could donate to his club without worrying about his own needs, he felt guilty. His mind actually kept fighting back with the same narrative. You don't really need that. What we have is already more than enough. Wanting more would just be selfish. Now, from the outside, this may sound responsible. It may even sound moral or caring of other people. So what's really the problem? I want to break it down with you in this video and then show you a pathway to the solution. So as we looked at his beliefs around money and went deeper into how he was raised, we realized that this client grew up in a culture of we don't need that, right? So his parents were very money conscious. The default response to anything beyond the basics was, we don't need that. And they always bought the most affordable option, even though they had the resources to indulge a little bit more if they wanted to. And one memory he had around this, which was a little bit interesting, is they drove cars that he felt embarrassed by, even though other people assumed the family was rich because of the house they had, the farm they had, and the land they had access to. So as a kid, he observed status on the outside, lots of land, big house, frugality and the approach of we don't need that on the inside the household, and very little positive modeling of just joyful spending on stuff that really matters. And he specifically remembered looking around and thinking, we surely have the money to get a nice car. Why are we always the ones driving the worst car? And he was secretly passed on a rule that wanting nicer things are unnecessary, maybe even immoral. And people like us, people like me, shouldn't do that. This rule was quietly running his decisions decades later. When it came to his house renovation, which was to set up a good future for his family, he told himself, the house is fine, why would I spend money on that? When it came to buying a new car, even when a nicer tax-efficient upgrade made logical sense, he felt a lump in his throat. When it came to donations to his rugby team, to help them out with recruiting or other stuff, he just froze a little bit. He couldn't commit fully. On the surface, his beliefs look like modesty or just being sensible, not being reckless with money. But underneath, there was a family money story that never got updated. One of the core things to realize for us to make this update with him was looking at money as a tool for impact and not just for ego or showing off. Because when we investigated his reason why, he told me the reason he wanted to make more was to create more impact with his rugby team. Because without the money, there was friction, right? This guy who was a top consultant in his country, who was doing well for himself, he had to chase sponsors who would play a little bit hard to get. He had to wait weeks for decisions. And he was just tired of watching opportunities get stuck while people were just discussing stuff in the committee. And when I asked him, what would you love to be able to do? Like, what would really fire you up, right? He said, I want a big pool of money, so instead of waiting on other people, I can fund the change itself and get it done within a matter of days instead of months. So he wanted to bring in his expertise from consulting with the right level of intensity and saying, this is why we're making decisions now, and this is the speed at which we'll operate in, and that's how we're going to improve compared to all the other clubs, right? So for him, earning more wasn't about flexing on Instagram, getting a Bugatti, or trying to impress people he didn't really care about. It was about creating more control and impact in his life. It's about shortening timelines from months to days, making things happen without having to suck up the other people, funding what he believes in, even without taking credit for it. Like, I knew he had a good cause when he told me, look, I don't even care that these people know that I'm the one who made this donation. I just want the resources accessible to the club so we can create this change, right? And this is where a lot of good men actually get stuck, because they've attached the idea of wanting more to greed or vanity. So they ignore all the ways more money could actually help them and the people that they care about. It could create a living environment for my client that he would love calling home with the renovations, right? He, or even you, as you're listening to or watching this video, you can use the money to get mentorship from experts in their field who can help you not only reach your goals, but do it from a place of peace and joy. This is what I've used a lot of my income for, right? Learning the skills that I know now. You could back the projects or the people that you actually care about. And for a lot of good men, the belief quietly keeping them stuck at just enough is the idea that if I want more, it means something bad about me. But money isn't a fixed pie where when you gain, someone else loses. It's a vehicle to create the life that you want. And for my client, it was a vehicle for creating control on his life, impact on his teams and community. And most importantly, as a busy consultant who had a lot going on and a lot of people counting on him, it was a tool to buy back his time and his attention. So actually, there's always a cost, right? It's either money or lower quality of experience. And the question you really need to ask yourself isn't, do I need more? It's, what's the cost of staying at just enough in this area? So here are some concrete examples from my client's life, right? He could, if he didn't do the house renovations, he could keep things as it is, and it might be free on paper. But in 10 years, he might feel like he's living at a house that doesn't feel like a home, that doesn't support the life that he wants for himself or his family. Or he could not get the new car, just stick to the old one, and this might look frugal, but it might cost him opportunities, or he might even resent himself for not making the upgrade if he's waiting long enough, right? And with the donations to his rugby team, he'll still have to wait on the committee, wasting precious months or even more waiting on decisions, when with his money he could have just moved a lot faster, right? So the core idea here, especially if you're a good guy who has a good cause behind him, you're always paying in something. It's either money, quality of experience, or the speed of impact. So once my client saw this, right, I don't need more stopped being a moral truth and started looking like what it actually was. It was an inherited belief from people, his parents, who were doing their best with what they knew, but this belief no longer fit the man he is today or the life that he's living today. So if you want to investigate your own beliefs around money and break free from beliefs that hold you back, here's a 7-day money story audit. For the next 7 days, anytime a decision around money pops up, even buying a snack from the store, maybe looking at the gas price and thinking, oh man, it's getting expensive. First, write out the situation. Buy a nicer chair versus keep my current chair. Donate this amount to a charity or my team. Invest in this course, invest in this program, or just wait until things get better. Second, write the belief that shows up strongly. What's the immediate thought, the story your mind just goes boop to? Is it, I don't need that? That's wasteful. People like me shouldn't do that. I would be irresponsible with my mortgage, my kids, my partner. Third, name the voice. Whose voice is this, actually? Does it sound like my dad, my mom, my culture, church, my beliefs, my community? Sometimes you might have a part of you that, or people in your life that you really cherish, and they may have accidentally passed on a belief to you that holds you back. That doesn't mean you have to let go of that culture or that group. Just give the belief back. It's okay. Then write out the real cost of staying at just enough in this case. What's the experience you'll keep having? What's the impact you'll miss out on? What's the time you might keep losing? By the end of the week, you'll see some patterns, right? You'll start to understand which decisions reflect your values and which decisions are run by someone else's rule or someone else's fear. And to be clear, like I'm a minimalist. I travel around the world in a luggage, right? So I'm not saying you should buy everything. I don't support that. I think it's a bit extreme. However, the goal here is for you to stop obeying a script that you never consciously chose and feel good about joyful spending money on things that you care about that will improve your quality of life. So if you identify some money beliefs and you want a clear structure to actually let go of these beliefs, to rewire them in your own life, my 7-day data-driven calm protocol lays out the exact meditation, the belief rewiring system, and the tracking that I use with my one-on-one and group clients. You get a 7-day table to log one belief daily and a 6-step process to actually rewire it, a daily meditation, and a nightly scorecard. So if you want that, go to the link in description and download from that link below. It'll also send you emails daily, so everything's step by step. I hope you enjoy this video and this helps you work better with your money beliefs and spend on things that you care about without feeling guilty. If you enjoy this, drop a like, subscribe for similar videos, and I will see you in the next one.